Hey, traders out there in trader land, we're starting a little bit of a sell-off here. Let's take a look at what's going on. And we see here the Dow's down 0.64%. Now these numbers might correct themselves a little bit. The bell just now sounded, so the market's just closed. And we're down on the NASDAQ 0.4, a 0.5% here on the S&P, and 0.8 here on the Russells. The VIX shot up a little bit, but we're at 29. Very nice number, staying below that 30 mark. But the question is, how long is that going to last? And let's take a look at price action on the big SPX. This is the S&P 500. Look at on the daily chart. The last about 8 weeks, we've been just heading up in a nice uptrend, but we're starting to see some weakness here. Let's blow this up and take a look at this. Yesterday we had some upper shadow. We came up, come right back down, but I thought we had a really good chance of going up here today and stopping around this resistance mark. And sure enough, that's precisely what it did. I'm going to get rid of my crosshairs here so you can see. It shot way up here, but it was short-lived. It comes screaming right back down. Anytime you start to see upper shadows start to develop, that is a very ominous sign. That's thunder in the distance. What that means is we came up, 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 up. We couldn't hold it. We come crashing back down. And same thing here. We couldn't hold this. We went up, 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 up. It was great for a while, and then it come crashing back down. Telltale signs that the bears are starting to build confidence right now, and the bulls cannot hold the strength at these higher levels. So pay special attention to this. Right now I'm watching this histogram on the MACD. We do not have a crossover yet, but I fully expect by tomorrow we should see a histogram tick to the downside here. See how we have these lower ticks down here below this zero line coming across? Well, I expect to see that pretty soon take place. And then we should get a crossover and then a drop below the zero line, which would be a nice sign for the bears. And for all the bulls out there, it'd be a great sign to say take profits and secure yourself with stop loss protection. Here we do have a lower low. If I receive another lower low tomorrow with a lower high, which I do expect, if that happens, then I'll draw another trend line from this swing high over here to these highs coming down, and at that point we'll have a triangle formation. I want to look at a couple others. Look at the Dow. Right here is the Dow. Been in this nice uptrend. We thought we were breaking out. We stayed up here but came right back down. These are called jabs. Anytime that you leave the trend, here's the trend, these two trend lines coming out. Anytime you leave the trend but come back into the trend, these are called jabs. They don't happen very often, but when they do, they're hard to predict, impossible to predict. And you just got to play them as they play themselves out. But here we continue in this uptrend. We came up, smacked our head at this line, came right back down. We're finding a little bit of support here from these teal lines that go way back to these highs right there. And that's what we're finding as some support. But I think that we could break down here. If we break down going below this swing low, that would be a double top or a slight step down, which is even more bearish. And if we were to break down through here, it could really come down. We don't have a crossover on the MACD yet, histogram, but be watching. Let's see how it's starting to turn over. Let's look here at the NASDAQ. And this one's really interesting. It has broke its trend, its channel it's been in. See this? We have support, resistance, 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 support, resistance. We broke support. Now support, or what was support, is now acting as resistance, 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 resistance. And we went right up here, tagged that teal line coming across. That was that swing high right there. And it goes back, let me show you this, to this swing high. See that? This swing high, resistance. We came up, tagged it, came right back down, resistance. And this trend line acting as resistance. We have a lot of moving averages here that should act as support, but I'm telling you, this looks very ominous to me. I'm expecting to see. Now, we've already dipped under the 0 line. See this on the MACD? We're already below it. We're trying to fight to get back over it. But I think this has the best chance of falling. If the NASDAQ, if techs drop, that will pull down the rest of the market. So pay special attention to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ and financials took a big hit today in the tail end of the day. So be watching this one pretty close. While we're here, let's look at the Russells. And the Russells looks just like the NASDAQ. Nice trend, and then we broke down below the trend. Now it's acting as resistance. You can see that right here. And look at this. We are currently below the 0 line on the MACD, and be watching for a crossover, that histogram to click over to the downside. When that happens, you're going to have a lot of bearish pressure raining down on these markets. So let's watch this. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump this just because it's starting to set up. We play it when we see it. Traders trade with our eyes. Don't trade with your minds. Trade with your eyes. Trade with a core group of rules. I mean, I tell my students that all the time. We have to have a core set of rules that we use. And that's what I use. That's what Matador uses in our own trading. And we like to share that with other individuals. And you have to have those core truths. Get through your emotions, get the fear and greed out of it, get your emotions out of it, get your thinking out of it. Have your rules in place, follow your rules, play what you see. When the markets do break out or they do break down, then you start to make the play. Do not be early. And always, always, always trade with a stop loss. Till next time, we'll catch you at freetrainingvideos.com, where learning is cheap. And whatever, I'm trying to make one up on the fly. It didn't roll off my tongue. Anyway, catch you later.